Hey guys, so today we're talking about long division. Why do we use long division? Well, how do we change a fraction to a decimal? Okay, so we have a fraction right here, 5/14. How do we change this to a decimal? We've talked about converting percentages to decimals, decimals to percent, percent to fraction, but how do we change a fraction to a decimal? Now, do you remember what this line right there means? That line means division. It's as if we replace those two dots in our division symbol with some numbers. So when you have a fraction, that fraction bar means division. Okay? So long division, before we start going through our steps, you have to set up your problem correctly. If you don't set up your problem correctly, you're about to do a lot of work and then miss the problem. Okay, you're gonna waste your time doing a lot of extra work. So let's make sure that we set up our problem correctly before we do our 4 steps. Which number goes inside? Okay. Some people might say which number goes inside the house, which number goes inside the box. Our numerator, our 5 is going to go on the inside. If you can't remember that, think boom, our karate guy hits our numerator off into the box. Okay, I'll show you one more time. He's going and he's going to kick that number 5 or whatever our numerator is into the box. So that's just a way to help you remember how you set up your long division problem correctly. Okay, once we have our problem set up, you're going to follow these 4 steps. You're going to divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. And then once you're done, you're going to do it again. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Again, divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So you're going to do those steps over and over and over again. Okay? All right, let's do some practice problems. Now, it's going to seem like a lot of numbers. It's going to seem pretty confusing. I know I teach math, so I'm just going to say that, I like math. But once you get the hang of this, it is really kind of fun. Okay, so we have 5/8. How do we change 5/8 to a decimal? I've got 3 problems that we're going to do together. Please write this down on a piece of paper so you can practice. If you're already taking the time to watch this video, then do it with me. First, we need to set up this problem. Okay, so 5/8 is the same thing as 5 divided by 8. Our 5 is going to be pushed onto the inside. Okay? All right, I'm going to use a different color here. Go ahead and put your decimal right there. Can we make a group of 8 out of 5? And I always talk about it like Skittles. If you had 5 Skittles, could you pull out a group of 8? You can't, right? So 0 times, and then we're going to add a 0. Can 8 go into 50? Now you want to get as close to 50 as you can without going over. So you can just start somewhere in the middle. Let's think 8 times 5 is 40. Can I squeeze in another 8? Yeah, 8 times 6. Okay, and then some people also put this multiplication symbol right here so they know when we multiply. So we just divided, now we got to multiply. 6 times 8. So 6 times 8 is 48. Now we subtract. 50 minus 48 is 2. Now our next step is bring down. What are we bringing down? If you have a number right here, then bring that number down. If you don't, we don't. We're going to add a 0. We're going to bring this 0 down. So now we have 20. So we just followed all of our steps. We divided, multiplied, subtract, bring down. What do I do now? I'm going to do it again. Divide again, multiply again, subtract, and bring down. So let's divide. How many times can 8 go into 20? 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is going to be a little bit past 20. So just twice. Now we're going to multiply. 2 times 8 is 16. Now we subtract. 20 minus 16 is 4. Now I bring down. I have nothing there, so I'm going to bring down another 0. Okay, let's keep going. How many times can 8 go into 40? Perfect, 5 times. Okay, now we can multiply again. 5 times 8 is 40. So when we subtract this time, we get 0. So we are done. Sometimes our decimals will go on forever and ever and ever. It's a repeating decimal, or it might just, go on forever. But I'm probably only going to ask you for maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 3 decimal places. Okay? So what is 5/8 as a decimal? 0.625. So if you type this into the calculator, 5 divided by 8, because we know that's what this line means, Our line in a fraction means division. If you type this into the calculator, this is what you're going to get. That's your decimal. All right, let's do 2 more problems. 4 over 7, 4 divided by 7. Okay, first step, we got to set this up right. Our karate guy is going to knock our 4 off into the box. Our numerator is what goes in. 7 stays on the outside. Okay. All right, I'll use green this time. I'll go ahead and put my decimal point. Can 7 go into 8? I'm sorry, can 7 go into 4? It cannot. So I have a 0. I'm going to add a 0. Can 7 go into 40? Let's think. 7 times 5 is 35. Can I squeeze in another 7? I can't. So just 5 times. Running out of space. 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. I'm going to subtract. I get 5. What do I bring down? If you have nothing there, you're bringing down a 0. All right, now we're going to start over. How many times can 7 go into 50? I'm looking at the 7 go into 50. 7 times 8 is 56. That's a little bit too much. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, 7 times 7, 49. Now we're going to subtract. We get 1. What do I bring down? There's nothing there, so I'm going to bring down a 0. Let's go one more decimal place. How many times can 7 go into 10? Just once. 7 times 1 is 7. I subtract, I get 3. And we could keep going. I could bring down the 0. How many times can 7 go into 30? Well, we're just going to end it right there for now. 3 decimal places. So what is 4/7 as a decimal? 0.571. Okay, so if you typed in 4 divided by 7 into the calculator, this is what you would get. Okay, we got one more problem here. Okay, 9/8. Same thing, set it up. Make sure you set this up right, or you're gonna do a lot of work and then have the wrong answer. Okay. We'll use red this time. Put my decimal place right there. Can 8 go into 9? 8 can go into 9. So if you had 9 Skittles, could you make a group of 8? You could. You could pull out 8. Just once, though. Okay, 1 times 8 is 8. Now we subtract. We get 1. I have nothing to bring down, so I'm going to bring down a 0. How many times can 8 go into 10? Once. Okay, 1 times 8 is 8. We subtract, we get 2. Bring down a 0. 20. How many times can 8 go into 20? 2 times. 2 times 8. 16. We subtract, we get 4. Bring down another 0. This one's going to work out. How many times can 8 go into 40? 5 times. So once I subtract 40, ran out of space there, I get 0. So I am done. Okay, so there are my 3 practice problems of doing long division. One last thing. What is 9/8 as a decimal? It is 1.125. All right. Hopefully you did this along with me. Again, if you're going to take the time to watch this video, I really hope you had paper and pencil ready and you were solving it with me as I go. All right, hope this helped.